Hey guys, today we'll look at arguably the best Custodes character plus unit combo out of them all. A unit that I would highly recommend to have in any Custodes list that wants to be competitive. I'm not gonna make you wait any longer. This is a Lord Inquisitor Kyria Draxus with a unit of 5 Custodian Guard. The whole combo is 275 points because 200 points for the Custodes and 75 for the character. The idea of the package is that she can join any Imperium battle line infantry unit, which Custodian Guard obviously are. And as leader plus attached units relationships go in 10th edition, it almost always results in some kind of buffing interaction. In this case, she is buffing them, but most importantly, they buff her. She essentially provides an 18-inch loan-up rule for the Custodes unit, which is highly important. It is on a 2+, so there is a chance of failing that, but if you fail it, yes, you don't get the rule, and you suffer D3 mortal wounds, but those D3 mortal wounds can be ignored with the 4-up shrug that your Custodes have. So it's more than worth it. It's extremely important because it helps you against the annoying indirect shooting that is very dangerous for your Custodes, because you can hide all you want behind ruins, but if whirlwinds or night spinners are shooting at you, or obliterators if they deep struck and use their once per game ability, you cannot do anything to protect yourself from that, apart from -1 damage stratagem. However, in this case, if that indirect is too far away, they will not be able to select you as the target of that shooting. Very important. And not only against indirect, almost all heavy firepower is usually kept further away by your opponent, closer to their deployment zone, because they don't want you to charge their tanks or whatnot. So essentially, you'll just force your opponent to move those assets closer to you, and that, as a Custodes player, is what you want. It also gives the unit +1 to hit against non-Imperium or Chaos targets, which is not terribly exciting for the guard themselves because they already hit it on 2, so it would only be relevant if they're suffering any kind of a minus to hit, which can sometimes happen. And it is very important for her because she hits with her shooting on 3s and combat as well. Another great thing about her is her shooting. She has 2 guns, one psychic, one regular. The regular gun is a beefy shuriken catapult with 18-inch of range, 4 shots, strength 4, AP 0, damage 2, which is not that important. I mean, the AP here, the lack of, is because you have anti-infantry 4+ and devastating wounds. So whenever you're going to be rolling a 4-up 2 wounds, you're going to be bypassing saves anyway and doing 2 damage to infantry units. It is extremely good to be trying to get rid of Space Marines, even Terminators, even though you're going to be suffering some loss of damage on the extra spilling wound. And doing those mortals on a roll 4+ is actually quite reliable. Her second gun is also good. It's also 18-inch range, 6 shots this time, and strength 6, AP 0, damage 2, with sustained hits too and indirect. No devastating wounds here, unfortunately, but you get indirect, which is very good because Custodes have no indirect otherwise. This is more of an anti-light infantry gun, but still, considering how the cover rules work nowadays, at least Space Marines will not be rolling 2+ unless they already have that save against these attacks, which is nice. But the main reason why we want this combo is the fact that Guard give her their reroll to wound, allowing you to all but guarantee 8 mortal wounds onto any infantry squad, of course, if you are able to hit. And that's where her +1 to hit will be very helpful, because otherwise you'll probably only do 6 mortal wounds because you are destined to roll at least 1 or 2 out of her 4 shots. It's incredible anyways. Even 6 mortal wounds is very good for such a cheap character that also provides an incredibly important loan-up sort of buff to the big Custodes unit. She also benefits incredibly from the double shoot ability that the Custodian Guard squad has. So once per game, you'll be able to double dip into her wonderful shooting and do some really nasty damage to an infantry squad. For 75 points, that is just wonderful. I wish Custodes had a character like that for this price in their book, but we now have to use the Imperial agents for some of our things, and Custodes Plus, this character is probably a must-have combo for anyone who wants to do Custodes competitively. She even gives grenades keyword to the squad, which allows you to use the stratagem, and the stratagem is quite nice, giving you an average of 3 mortal wounds on the target for 1 command point, and that can be very important. I cannot stress this enough. The 18-inch loan up on a guard brick is vital, because one thing you as a Custodes player don't want is your Custodes to be dying whilst they are in transit from point A to point kill all of your opponent's units. This rule will help you with that, whilst your other assets are being protected by other means. A rapid ingress in them from deep strike, or using land raiders to cover them from enemy fire, or at least give a hardier, a tougher target for your opponent to chew through. -1 damage from the captain for free on one squad, for example wardens, and so on. This was actually a problem that I was trying to solve in my head for a while. I was trying to figure out, how do I protect my one squad of Custodian Guard that I want to be advancing up the board, but I don't want to put them in deep strike, and I don't want to put them into a land raider. So what do I do? Here is the answer: 75 points and you are golden. Let me know what you think about this character combo. I really like it. I don't have the character yet in my collection, but I'm planning to paint her up as soon as possible, because I do really think that as still, whilst this combo lasts, it will be a very good one. Even if they increase her price by like 20 points, I still think it's worth it. Don't forget that you can get help with your rosters, Custodes or otherwise, tournament prep, and other 40k questions on my Patreon account, so check out the links in the description, and I'll see you next time.